Path Media.
You may very well be closer to a breakout and a breakthrough than you think, so keep going. Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast. Okay, happy podcast day. Happy podcast day to you. Welcome to the show if you're brand new, and of course if you're an existing listener and or viewer, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so today I'm going to give you two suggestions that I think will really help you keep going. Keep going with the things that you want to pursue, right? Those goals, those dreams, those aspirations, and those visions that you want to achieve. I share these things with you because I know it can be tough, right? It can be tough, especially in the face of feeling like you're not making forward progress, feeling like there's no empirical evidence of forward motion and getting any closer to your goal. It can be disheartening. And that's on top of, everything else that we have to do in life, right? In modern life, all our obligations with family, with career, having to go to your job every day, because those are the things that have immediate need, right? Because it provides for you, right? It provides for you. That's why I think it's easy is maybe the wrong word, but I think that's why it's easy for people to quit on their dreams, because it doesn't necessarily contribute to that immediate need, right? To the immediate daily existence. But the thing is, I don't want you to just exist, right? I want you to live. I want you to live full and fulfilled, right? So chasing things beyond just meeting your basic needs, I think is really, really important. You got to remember that our brains love stability and it loves predictability. And that's why it's easy to fall back into an employment type situation. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but number one, the system is definitely broken, right? It's definitely broken, and it's letting more people fall through the cracks than it used to. And number two, yes, the system is there and it's designed for predictability, to be able to provide for your basic necessities and the things that you need for daily existence. However, it's not necessarily there to provide meaning and fulfillment and purpose. If you're able to find that within the system, then great. But for a lot of people, they can't, and they don't, and they end up going through their lives in that situation, in that system, and at the end of it feeling unfulfilled, right? And so I don't want that for you, and that's why I share a lot of what I share with you, so that you can pursue things outside of those systems that will give you more fulfillment, that will give you more meaning and purpose. And so that's why to keep going is really, really important, especially things that really, really matter to you, right? Things that really deep down in your gut, in the pit of your soul and your spirit, just that you yearn for. Right, to keep going with those things, I think will give you that fulfillment and that purpose that we all seek. And so these two suggestions, I think, will really help that. On top of also understanding that, if you're already in pursuit of those things, you may very well be closer to a breakout and a breakthrough than you think. So keep going. And these two suggestions, I think, will really help you do that. Number one, set time aside. I know that sounds really basic and kind of a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how few people actually do this. You have to remember, we are creatures of habit. Our brains love predictability. And so being methodical and systematic with the work that you have to do, it gets you over that hump, right? It gets you over the hump of doing those things that is outside of your normal routines. So pick a specific day or days out of your week and block a specific time on those days to doing just the work work that you need to do towards your goals. Understand that this is all about follow through, and creating structure makes follow through that much easier. Number two, prioritize. Again, I know this sounds really, really basic, but remember at the beginning of this episode, we talked about how these extracurricular pursuits aren't necessarily contributing to our daily existence, nor are they necessarily yielding predictable outcomes. And because of this, that makes them the easiest things to put aside. That's why it's so important to prioritize that work, to do that work first, because your brain doesn't actually think it's as important as the other work that you have on your to-do list. So in a sense, because your brain does not want you to do that work, you're actually tackling the hardest thing first. And as a result, not only will you feel more fulfilled because you are doing work towards your goals and your dreams, but you can use the momentum of having accomplished those tasks to do and knock out all those other things on your to-do list. So tackling those hardest things first, working and prioritizing your goals and your dreams will actually make all your other work that much easier. And that's it. These two things, setting time aside and prioritizing, two simple things that'll help you keep going. All right, so I hope that helps. If you're not already following the show, please follow the show. Hit that plus sign on top of whatever app you happen to be listening on. Hit the subscribe button if you're listening to this or watching this on the YouTube version. And beyond that, we'll catch you next week with a fresh new episode. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.